Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. Of course, if you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. You guys know what is up with that. So today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about the new Anastasia at Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I know I'm late to the game, but I've actually been wearing this foundation for probably about 2 weeks or so, maybe a little bit less. So I have a really good feel for the foundation and I wanted to come on camera and actually give you a full review. I am going to be inserting clips throughout the video to actually show me applying it, so application process, how I built it up, and then I'm also going to be inserting some clips of how it looked at the end of the day for you so you can see how it kind of wears. And I, of course, will explain to you my feelings on how it wears and also the different ways that I tested it out, how I preferred applying it, all that good stuff. So if you guys are kind of interested in hearing and seeing me apply the foundation, my thoughts on it, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so I am finally on camera to do this video. I filmed actually some of this yesterday, so all the insert clips I did film yesterday. You will see that I pretty much have the same, I did pretty much the same makeup today to try to make it kind of go together because I just did not have the energy in me last night to film the intro and the outro, which sounds terrible, but I honestly did not have the energy. Bad YouTuber, that is me right here. If you guys don't know already, you should follow me on Instagram. My handle there is at Shannon Shaw's Beauty. I am Shannon Shaw on Facebook if you want to follow me there as well. But I did announce I am actually pregnant. I'm about 11 weeks pregnant right now, so sorry if I have been absent a little bit, but that is one of the reasons. I'm kind of sick off and on, and yeah, tired all the time. I'm sure you guys can relate. If you have ever been pregnant. So I thought I would throw that out there just so you guys know, but I did announce it about a week ago on social media. But anyways, we won't get too much into that. We're going to talk about this guy right here, the Anastasia at Beverly Hills Foundation. Pretty reflective packaging, right? Like, look at the packaging on that. It has the foundation here on the side, which is similar to the actual bottle on the inside. I did pick up the shade 200 W, which is for a warm skin tone. I usually wear more pink undertones, but I am a bit more tanned because of the summertime. So I just find my undertones are leaning more warm, and I do really like how this looks on my skin. I think it matches really well, so that's awesome. I myself purchased this when it became available on Ulta. It was around $50 Canadian. It does sell and it's available now on Sephora Canada, and it's $50 Canadian. In the US, it's 38 US, so it's a little bit less, obviously. It is a vegan product. It's gluten-free, alcohol-free. It's supposed to be clinically tested, dermatologist tested. I almost said that wrong. Non-comedogenic, suitable for sensitive skin, long wearing, and there's not supposed to be any flashback with this. Now, I didn't test that out. I never test flashback because, to be honest, I don't do like a ton of flash photography. Most of my pictures are done with my cell phone and they're done for Instagram, so they're more kind of selfie pictures. But definitely, there's 1,000 reviews on this. I'm sure it has been tested if you want to look for more reviews on it, but I generally never do flash tests. I guess it is important to some people, but it's not super important to me. Now, it does come with 30 mils of product or 1 fluid ounce of product, typical for a foundation. So it's just the typical amount. I do like the packaging. Now, it does say it's supposed to be a medium coverage foundation with a luminous natural finish, and it's supposed to be long wearing. Those are the claims that I, of course, was most interested in. So this is the actual foundation bottle. It has Anastasia Beverly Hills. It does have a pump, which mine is very dirty because I have been testing it out. And then on the side here, it has the foundation kind of similar to what it has on the box. The same kind of writing. I think this is very like comic book or like cartoon-esque. I don't know. I think it's a little strange. I don't know. For me, it kind of cheapens the packaging. I don't know why. I don't really like it, but I don't really care either. It's just the bottle. It does feel luxe and heavy, so you are getting a nice bottle for the price point because $50 Canadian is fairly high. I know in the States it's only 38, but for me, that's fairly high for a foundation. I've spent more, but still it's on the higher end, so it's nice to have a kind of more luxe bottle. It is available, let me see how many shades exactly this is available in. I think it's 50 shades. Let's just double check here. Okay, so it's on Sephora, so it does come with a range of 50 shades. So you probably are going to be able to find your shade on this one. I have heard a few people say that the shades run a bit warm and yellow, so maybe go in store if you can go to Sephora and try it out, or even get a tester and try it out before you actually purchase the full bottle. But I was able to pick mine online and it works pretty great on me. I'm going to throw in the try-on clip now and I'll kind of discuss how I feel about application and all that thing. So I'll put that in right now. So I am using a Thrive Cosmetics beauty sponge. I prefer using a sponge with this foundation. I just feel like the product applies way smoother and way quicker if you use a sponge. I tried using several different brushes and I was never super happy with the finish with just using a brush. I always had to go over it with a sponge. I don't know, I've seen a lot of people say they like it more with a foundation brush. I do agree it gives more coverage and you have to build it up more with a sponge, but it just doesn't look as natural or luminous to me, and I feel like the product is way harder to move around with the brush. It leaves brush strokes unless you really work it in, and I found if you had any kind of dry spots, it was harder to go over with the brush. So that was just my opinion, my experience. I did have one experience where I was using the Ciate London Watermelon Primer and it kind of like came off my forehead as I tried to apply more product. But I do think that was a problem with the primer because I didn't have that problem with any of my brushes the next few days. So if you have that primer, maybe avoid it with this foundation. I thought I would throw that in there, but I do find it a bit finicky with primers. I personally like applying it without a primer, or I'll just use the Smashbox Primer Water for a bit of moisture or just a moisturizer and then apply it over top. Of course, if you are more of an oily person, you're probably going to want something mattifying, and if you have a lot of pores, you may want to use like a pore filling primer or something like the Tatcha Putty Primer or the e.l.f. Putty Primer. Either of those I think would work for you. As you can see upon application, I went in with about 3 pumps. I did 2 pumps initially, applied that all over my face, and then I went in with a 3rd pump just to build up the coverage. Builds up really nicely. I'd say it's light to medium upon first application with the sponge and about a medium coverage once you build it up, which is what I definitely look for. It does have more of that luminous finish to it. It gives you that nice kind of glow. And then once I do have everything finished, I kind of come back and show you what the foundation looks like without anything on top. And then I come back and actually show you what the foundation looks like once I have applied all of my makeup. And I did powder with the Jeffree Star Powder, so if you're curious, I did powder it a bit, but I still felt like the glow still comes through on the foundation. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a clip of me at the end of the day, just so you guys can see what the foundation looks like. So I have it pretty up close and personal, so you guys can see my forehead, can see the sides of my face look pretty good, nice and smooth. I don't have a lot of pores, so you won't notice. I find my pore area always generally looks pretty good by the end of the day. I did have a little bit of foundation come off kind of along my jawline, which is pretty typical, and also around my nose area. I do rub my nose a lot, so typically it gets pretty red there, so you will notice that in the clip. And I do find this foundation, if you don't powder this, like I said, I powdered it, so it keeps it looking a little bit, in my opinion, more natural throughout the day. If you don't powder this, it can get pretty luminous. So if you are oily, I don't know if you'll love this one, but yeah, it can get pretty oily. It does bunch up a little bit in your nose creases, and you can see that in the clip as well. It doesn't really sink in too badly to fine lines. You'll see it on my forehead, but I have fine lines on my forehead, so I mean, almost every foundation will show those off a little bit. Other than that, I think the foundation wore really well. That was after 9 hours of wear. All right, guys, so I'm gonna bring you back. So that's all the clips that I have to kind of throw in there, but I just wanted to talk about the wear time. I think this one is pretty good. I am testing the Fenty one out though as well, and I feel like that one's a little more long wearing, but it is not, in my opinion, as luminous as this one. I think this one gets more luminous throughout the day. If you're wearing this in the heat and you're getting hot, you are gonna get pretty luminous. And I have normal to dry skin, so if you are someone with oily skin, I feel like you will be an oil slick if you don't really powder this down and prep your skin properly. And I would suggest actually going and, you know, getting a sample, trying it out, seeing if it's something for you before purchasing that full size. Also, watch some people that have oily skin, see what their thoughts were when they did their wear test. One of my friends, Jasmine G here on YouTube, she is more kind of combo, I think, like Oily and her T-Zone. I will throw her video down actually in my description box. She did a first impressions on the foundation and she had pretty good luck with it. So check her video out and others obviously that have different skin types than me, because that'll give you kind of more knowledge on if you should purchase this. But I would say this is of course more geared to normal and dry skin folks. And like I said, I prefer it with a sponge. I would definitely say applying it with a sponge is great. This isn't for you if you're looking for a full coverage foundation, because it is more of a medium coverage even built up. And I don't think you could really build this to super full coverage, but it covers enough for me that I really enjoy it. And I have been wearing it a ton. So, and also, like I said, the shade range is great on this one. So you can really find, I think, a shade for you that works without having to like mix multiple shades. So overall, guys, I like this one. I don't think it's like my favorite foundation of all time, but overall, I think it performs pretty well. It's pretty long wearing. I don't think it's like 16-hour wear kind of foundation. Generally, luminous foundations aren't, but I think you're looking pretty good between like, let's say the 8 to 10 hour mark. After that, you are going to start seeing more of the foundation come off, but I generally don't wear I generally do wear my foundations quite long, but I just wanted to put that out there because I don't think it's the longest lasting foundation, but it's pretty good for a luminous one. Like I said, I like it overall. I think it looks beautiful on the skin. Would recommend it for normal to dry skin, and you guys should definitely check it out. Go in store, like I said, and get a sampler. But anyways, guys, that is going to actually do it for this video. If you did like this review, make sure you do give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below. It really does help me out if you become part of my family, and also hit the bell notification if you want to stay up to date with all of my videos. I am not the most frequent uploader. I tell you guys this, and it's gotten worse. Oh, I need to try to do better. I have so many products. I have like a Sephora haul I have to film. I have to do a video on the Fenty foundation. I have a bunch of Sydney Grace stuff, like indie brand stuff. I have some stuff from Davina. So if you guys are interested in seeing those videos, thumbs up the video. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.